Seeking powerful allies, Queen Rhaenyra sent her eldest son Jacaerys upon Stormcloud to the Vale of Arryn in the north, while Lucerys rode Arrax to the Stormlands. Hoping to keep them from harm, Rhaenyra sent them only as messengers, forbidding them from engaging in combat. Her husband, however, Daemon Targaryen, flying atop Caraxes, had no such restriction when he flew to the Riverlands. Fortunately for the locals, no violence was necessary, as House Strong surrendered Harrenhal without a fight. Winning the support of House Blackwood, Queen Rhaenyra's forces won the Battle of the Burning Mill and Battle of Stonehenge, defeating House Bracken, the greatest green supporter in the region. While Daemon completed his conquest of the Riverlands, 15-year-old Jacaerys embraced his role as a diplomat, securing alliances with House Arryn of the Vale, as well as several of the most powerful houses in the north, including the Manderleys, Borrells, and Sunderlands, before securing the Pact of Ice and Fire with Lord Cregan of House Stark, promising a marriage between the Starks and Targaryens. Yet while their two northern ventures succeeded, the southern mission, led by Lucerys, thought to be the safest of the three, ended in complete disaster. Making the mistake of assuming Borros Baratheon was with the Blacks because his father was an ardent supporter of Rhaenyra, Lucerys arrived to find Aemond of the Greens negotiating an alliance. Borros informed Lucerys that Aemond offered to marry one of his daughters, and since Rhaenyra's boys were all betrothed, the Blacks could not beat that offer. Still holding a grudge for the loss of his eye, Aemond wanted to attack the boy, but Borros forbid it in his hall. However, once Lucerys flew away, Borros gave permission for Aemond to give chase. Engaging in the dance over Shipbreaker Bay, young Arrax was no match for Vhagar, and so both Lucerys and his dragon were killed. While Rhaenyra cried and raged over the death of her son, Daemon Targaryen swore vengeance and reached out to his underworld contacts in the capital, arranging for the assassins Blood and Cheese to infiltrate the Red Keep using secret tunnels underneath. Killing a handmaiden, they captured Alicent, Helena, Jaehaerys, Jaehaera, and Maelor before forcing the king's wife to choose which of her 3 children would die. Threatening to rape her daughter and kill them all if she refused, Helena reluctantly chose her youngest Maelor, reasoning that he did not understand what was happening and would not suffer. But the assassins instead cut the head off her eldest, Jaehaerys, before fleeing into the night. Blood was soon caught trying to escape the city with the prince's head in a bag, and so was tortured and killed, but Cheese and the former dancer Mysaria, who arranged it all for Daemon, were never caught. This powerful act of vengeance then did further damage as Queen Helena grew depressed and despondent, unable to look at her son Maelor since she named him to die. The king, meanwhile, fell to drink and rage, consumed by hatred. Though Aegon enjoyed the company of many women aside from his wife, their marriage remained amicable until the death of their child, when they stopped sleeping together or even communicating at all. Hoping to strike back against the Blacks, Sir Criston Cole sent the Kingsguard, Auric Cargyle, on a mission to infiltrate Dragonstone, posing as his twin brother Eric, who served as Queen's Guard for Rhaenyra. On a mission of assassination, possibly against the Queen or her children, his target was never discovered, as he was spotted and exposed by his brother before completing the mission. Engaging in single combat to the death, stories say the brothers killed each other out of knightly duty but died in each other's arms, while others, like Rhaenyra's jester Mushroom, claimed they suffered grievous wounds quickly and cursed each other as traitors. With the Blacks winning allies and striking back with fury against the Greens, the Hand of the King Otto Hightower did his best to strengthen their position, but largely failed in many areas as he was unable to secure an alliance with Dorne, which claimed neutrality, was receiving no reply from his messages to the Ironborn, and could not even secure his own homeland of the Reach, where only the houses Hightower and Redwyne pledged for Aegon, while houses Costain, Mullendor, Tarly, Rowan, and Grimm sided with Rhaenyra. House Tyrell, seeing their realm divided, declared neutrality. Sending word to Ormond Hightower to destroy the enemy lords of the Reach, Otto next set his sights across the sea to Essos, where the Kingdom of the Three Daughters agreed to ally with Aegon Targaryen in exchange for the Stepstones and trade rights. Yet this victory was too little to make an immediate impact, and the corrupt, inefficient Kingdom of the Three Daughters needed time to prepare their forces. Therefore, the king dismissed his grandfather and appointed Criston Cole as Hand of the King. Far more violent and warlike than his predecessor, Cole implemented an aggressive strategy, beginning by executing all Black faction prisoners unless they bent the knee to Aegon. Yet only 3 submitted, while the rest chose to keep their honor in death. Entering into a new phase of the war, Westeros was properly fractured, with the North, Riverlands, and Vale pledged to Rhaenyra, the Westerlands and Stormlands siding with Aegon, the Reach and Crown lands divided, Dorne remaining neutral, and the Iron Islands undeclared. Therefore, Cole first elected to focus on the nearby Crown lands, which, outside the capital, largely stood with Rhaenyra, sacking Duskendale and beheading its lord. Cole then moved on to Rook's Rest, but House Staunton had time to send for aid, prompting Princess Rhaenys of the Blacks to arrive on her dragon melees. Engaging in the Battle of Rook's Rest, Criston Cole attacked the enemy from the ground with scorpions and archers, while King Aegon flew on Sunfire and Prince Aemond upon Vhagar. Badly outnumbered, Rhaenys nonetheless put up a valiant struggle, seeing Melees viciously bite Sunfire's neck, which caused a chaotic melee between all three that sent them crashing to the ground. Suffering a terrible defeat, Rhaenys and her dragon were killed, while Aemond and Vhagar emerged unharmed, completing the conquest of Rook's Rest. The king and his dragon, meanwhile, also survived, but were both critically wounded, with Sunfire losing a wing and Aegon suffering burns and broken bones. The king was so injured he required months of painful recovery, spending most of his time sedated with milk of the poppy. As Aegon II was incapacitated, his brother Aemon Targaryen was named regent as protector of the realm. A harsh, courageous, and bloody-minded warrior, bonded to the oldest, most powerful dragon known to exist, Aemond was prepared to escalate the war and achieve victory at any cost. As Sunfire was unable to fly, a garrison was left to feed and protect him, but this small force could not stand when House Mutton recaptured Rook's Rest and sent their warriors to slay the dragon. Yet somehow, the wounded Sunfire defended himself and took flight to escape further harm. Devastated by the loss of his beloved wife, Corlys Velaryon nearly left Rhaenyra's cause, but was convinced to stay when Jacaerys named him Hand of the Queen. Though the Blacks had many powerful allies, most were far from the center of the conflict, making it difficult to respond quickly and with adequate force in or near the Crown Lands. Thus, the death of Rhaenys prompted the queen to send away the younger children of her family, as well as their dragons, for safety, sending Joffrey, Taraxis, and 3 dragon eggs to the Vale of Arryn alongside Rhaena Targaryen, Daemon's daughter from his first marriage, while Aegon the Younger, Stormcloud, Viserys, and a dragon egg were sent to be fostered by the Prince of Pentos. With his brothers gone, the queen's heir, Jacaerys Velaryon, took on increasing responsibilities in the next stage of the war. Knowing that Targaryen men over the years fathered many illegitimate children with smallfolk and nobility alike, Jacaerys thought up a plan to raise more dragon riders by putting out a call to the people of Dragonstone, promising great reward to any who successfully bonded a dragon. Though many failed, were wounded, or even burned alive, some few succeeded, like Hugh Hammer upon Vermithor, Ulf the White upon Silverwing, Adam of Hall on Seasmoke, and the girl Nettles riding Sheepstealer. Adam of Hall and his brother Alan were bastard-born children, supposedly fathered by Laenor Velaryon, though they were more likely the children of Corlys Velaryon. Therefore, when Adam claimed a dragon, Rhaenyra legitimized both brothers, allowing the Lord of Driftmark to name the eldest his heir. With the dragon seeds at their backs, the Blacks gained a decisive advantage over the enemy, but soon suffered a catastrophe in the Battle of the Gullet, remembered as one of the bloodiest sea battles in history. At last fulfilling their agreement, the Kingdom of the Three Daughters sent a fleet of 90 ships to break the Velaryon sea blockade around the capital, but first, they ran into the vessel carrying Rhaenyra's sons to Pentos, able to capture Viserys and his dragon egg, while Aegon fled atop Stormcloud, who was gravely wounded but nonetheless made it to Dragonstone, ensuring his rider's safety before dying. The fleet then attacked the Velaryon ships at the Gullet, causing Jacaerys to lead the dragon seeds into battle, destroying 62 of 90 vessels. The foreign fleet, however, had experience fighting dragons, able to bring down Vermax and kill its rider Jacaerys. The remaining fleet was also able to sack and burn nearby Spicetown and Hightide on Driftmark, eliminating a third of the Velaryon fleet, slaughtering their people and destroying much of Corlys Velaryon's wealth. Though the fleet sailed back to Essos with much treasure and a valuable war hostage, the overwhelming loss of ships and men caused the Kingdom of the Three Daughters to consider the battle a miserable defeat, leading to a political crisis and their very own civil war. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Average Soul the Healer, Delacruz the Freed, Lelo Senpai the Wanderer, and Commander Pete J. King. If you'd like to help the channel, be sure to give a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and click on the links below, or else go to patreon.com/CivilizationEx, where you can gain early access to videos, vote on future content, and watch the Patreon-only series, Heroes of Lore and Legend.